Hi there, I'm Kelly Fox from astrology.tv with the overview, the astrological overview for May 2022. So May is, I'd have to say, the biggest month of 2022. There is so much going on. It's unbelievable. We've got, first of all, Jupiter, planet of luck and good fortune, changing signs from Pisces to Aries, where it will be until next year. So this is all about huge new beginnings. We also are in the middle of eclipse season, the first eclipse season of 2022. We have a lunar eclipse on May 15th or 16th, depending on where you are in the world. And that lunar eclipse is a supercharged full moon in Scorpio, which means double dose of intensity. We also have a Mercury retrograde, the dreaded Mercury retrograde, in its own sign of Gemini, then back into Taurus. And then we've just had Pluto turning retrograde, which is always a big deal on top of it. So there is a lot going on. I'm just checking my ephemeris to see what else is happening. Oh yes, Mars, planet of action and assertion, moves into its own sign of Aries at the end of May. So that's all about, again, really big new beginnings. And then we've got Venus. I'm sure Venus is doing something here, making two sign changes into Aries, then into Taurus. So I'm going to break all that down. And I was just sort of trying to sum up, well, which is the biggest headline first, which is the major news that's coming first. And I really couldn't decide. So without further ado, let me break it down right here. So Jupiter, planet of luck and good fortune, expansion, hope, optimism. It's about broadening our horizons, is changing sign into Aries. And so Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So Jupiter in Aries is this huge confidence building energy. So it's all about being, regardless of what zodiac sign you are, it's all about being confident and brave and bold and just sort of diving into something at the deep end. And if you want more detail, before I go on with that, if you want more detail about what's in store for your zodiac sign this month, be sure to visit astrology.tv/horoscopes/monthly. So Jupiter in Aries is all about new beginnings, new directions, having the confidence, having the confidence of your own convictions, being hopeful and optimistic, and not being afraid to put your toe in the water. This is especially so for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The signs that have a little bit more of a challenge with Jupiter in Aries will be the cardinal signs, not counting Aries so much, but Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, particularly Cancer and Capricorn. New beginnings, new directions can be a little bit scary for most of us. But, if we can step up and just sort of dive in at the deep end, then, the new beginnings, the new direction, it's a brand new 12-year cycle, basically. So it's all, and I think it's what we need as a collective. We're getting ready for next year's Age of Aquarius. Now, that's coming about in March 2023. At the same time, Saturn, planet of karma, moves into Pisces. So we're getting ready for these new beginnings, regardless of what sign you are. There's a lot to look forward to. We're feeling hopeful and optimistic. And so this is about moving in new directions and not being afraid to do so. Now, the shadow side of this energy, though, is about being a little bit self-absorbed. So we need to consider others. Many of us will want our independence if we're in a relationship. We're looking for to sort of go out on our own in some ways. It doesn't mean break up. It just means we're looking to sort of reset the rules in a lot of ways. And of course, that Mercury retrograde that's coming about in May, so that's Mercury retrograde in Gemini. It turns retrograde at 4 degrees, and then it retrogrades back into Taurus all the way through the first week of June. So Mercury retrograde is all about misunderstandings, miscommunication. Things don't flow. And when Mercury turns retrograde in its own sign of Gemini, that makes things even more complicated. Many of us might find that the energy of Mercury retrograde in Gemini, there's just too many things we're juggling and we can't stay on top of things. There could be a sense of overwhelm that comes about with this Mercury retrograde in Gemini. It's about just things moving too fast and we feel like we can't really complete things or do a good job. So that's the other issue with this Mercury retrograde. Then when Mercury retrogrades back into Taurus, it's like things start to feel really slow, like we're walking through molasses or we're in quicksand. So it's like we won't be able to stay on top of things. They're just moving way too fast. And this might be especially so if you're a mutable sign. The mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Next up, the lunar eclipse. Oh my goodness. And again, as I said, I didn't know how to prioritize because, you've got Mercury retrograde, a lunar eclipse, and Jupiter in Aries. They're sort of even, with regards to, what people think about and look for with astrology. But a lunar eclipse probably should have been mentioned first next to Jupiter. So lunar eclipse in Scorpio, OMG, where do I even start with that one? Lunar eclipse is a supercharged full moon, and it's all about intensity, finding equilibrium and balance, giant emotions. I mean, emotions are always huge anyway with a full moon lunar eclipse. Full moon anyway without it being a lunar eclipse. Now, a full moon is when the earth is between the sun and moon. So there's like this tug of war going on. So this huge, intense, dramatic energy when there is a lunar eclipse, a supercharged full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. It's about emotions. It's about finances. It's about loyalty. It's about betrayal. It's about the things that we can't always see or are not always obvious. It's a time to trust our instincts, but many of us might be feeling a little bit suspicious, maybe paranoid, dare I say. So, with this lunar eclipse, fully charged full moon in Scorpio, if you're a fixed sign, and that's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, this is a big deal. This is about intensity. This is about dealing with friction and challenges. This is about things rising to the surface that we thought might have been put to rest or, done and dusted, things coming up again that we haven't really dealt with. Also with this energy of the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, it's about it's about transformation and metamorphosis. And in some ways, we have to hit the bottom before we can get to the top. So we have to go through these, in a lot of ways, karmic issues or karmic dealings with this lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And so this eclipse cycle of 2022 continues at the end of the year when we've got, again, another lunar eclipse, solar eclipse on the Taurus-Scorpio axis. And so what that means is that we're moving through, many of us, especially fixed sign energy, regardless if you're a fixed sign, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, have any planets in the fixed signs. It's about letting go of the things that no longer serve us. We're moving in a new direction. With Jupiter in Aquarius, with the age of Aquarius coming about next year, it's like we're getting ready to move on, to let go of the things that no longer serve us. So it's about moving ahead, moving forward into new directions, into our future, into our destiny and the path forward. That's being supported this month as well by Mars, planet of action, moving into its own sign of Aries. Huge new beginnings around Mars in Aries as well. We're able to take those steps forward instead of just thinking and pondering and not knowing which way to go. All of a sudden, so many of us will be able to just dive in at the deep end and just get going, just get moving. There really is a lot going on this month. We also have love planet Venus moving into Aries. So again, new beginnings around relationships or even the path or how we view our finances. You know, there's a boost here that helps us with that. And then at the end of the month, we've got love planet Venus moving into Taurus. So that's more of a financial focus there, as well as, you know, Uranus, planet of the unexpected in Taurus. So money, finances gets a shake up, especially if you're a fixed sign, have planets in the fixed signs. That's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. So really, May 2022 is like a turning point. And, you know, heaven forbid so many of us need that, given what's going on, what has gone on these past couple of years. So, you know, and with Pluto, planet of change and transformation, it is the modern day ruler of Scorpio, so it's connected to these eclipses that's going on 2022. It is about change, transformation, metamorphosis, and it's change that we don't necessarily willingly want to embrace. Many of us might be pushed into change or forced into it, or know that we're doing it and sort of begrudgingly want to do it. But it really is about this giant change that's coming about for all of us, for the collective. That's it from me. I'm Kelly Fox from astrology.tv. And for more detail about what's in store for your zodiac sign this month, be sure to visit astrology.tv/horoscope/monthly.